Hi, my name is Julio Rivera. I'm an activist, journalist, adventurer, veteran, television presenter, and businessman. I've covered many of the major historical events going on around the world over the past several years, and after watching regime changes, conflict, and historic elections globally, I've come to the conclusion that the most underreported crisis in the world today can be defined in only one word: malware. That's why I've decided to dedicate my time to educating people everywhere and exposing the dangers that exist on the devices that we've become tethered to and depend on for so many reasons in our day-to-day life. Welcome to This Week in Malware. On This Week in Malware, we'll be covering: with the rise of cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns, fear continues to mount over malware disrupting the 2020 US election. BUER loader grows in popularity for Malware-as-a-Service attackers, and the infamous hacker group MaaS claimed they are shutting down their ransomware operations. With the US election upon us, cybersecurity researchers find themselves less concerned with potential winners and losers of the various races occurring around the country, and more concerned with possible hacks against voting infrastructure, crippling ransomware incidents, and disinformation campaigns. Election-related attacks have been making headlines daily, including the hack of Donald Trump's campaign website. But what other politically motivated and election-related threats will we potentially see this November? Microsoft scores temporary victory over TRICKBOT. In October, Microsoft announced it had achieved a victory against cybercrime when they had thwarted TRICKBOT, a malware used to infect critical computer systems. TRICKBOT and other ransomware, they warned, could be used to target election offices on election day. But just days later, a wave of ransomware attacks hit US hospitals, and US officials and cybersecurity experts said TRICKBOT was to blame. The FBI warned that hackers used TRICKBOT in conjunction with other malicious code to carry out attacks against US hospitals, disrupting computer systems and delaying surgeries. Additional attacks could be looming, US officials added. What other threats does voting integrity face? A hacking group who took over the networks of Hall County, Georgia, recently escalated their ransom demands by publicly releasing election-related files after their ransom demand wasn't met. This immediately raised concerns about the security of voting from cyber attacks, according to the Wall Street Journal. A website run by the hacking group lists Hall County and other hacked organizations as entities whose time to pay is over. The Hall County files were labeled as example files, which are usually non-sensitive and used to coerce payment before more sensitive information is disclosed. The release of the Hall County files came 1 week before the presidential election. Polls showed that races were tight in Georgia. Who was responsible for the release of the Hall County election files? The hacked county files were released on the website of the Doppelpaymer ransomware group and contained named individuals with provisional ballots flagged for their signatures not matching voter names and registration numbers, and an election equipment inventory. Additionally, the FBI and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, issued a warning in October about Russia state-sponsored hackers targeting US state, local, and other government and aviation networks in advance of the election. Most followers of malware news have certainly heard of Emotet. Emotet is part of an extensive family of malware known as a bot or zombie, which means that it regularly and quietly connects to the command and control servers operated by hackers. Zombies generally upload details of each network they infect and download instructions on what to do next. A collection of zombified computers on the same set of CNC servers is known as a botnet, short for robot network, because crooks that control these CNC servers can send commands to one, many, or all of those infected computers simultaneously. Now, a newer and fast-spreading malware-as-a-service offering could provide an alternative to other well-known malware loaders like Emotet and Bazaar Loader, according to experts. The BUER loader was first discovered in August of 2019 when it was used to compromise Windows PCs. BUER arrives equipped with bot functionality, which is specific to each download. According to Sean Gallagher, a senior threat researcher at Sophos, BUER was first advertised in a forum post on August 20, 2019 under the title Modular BUER Loader, described by its developers as a new modular bot written in pure C with command and control server code written in .NET Core MVC, which can be run on Linux servers. For $350, plus whatever fee a third-party guarantor takes, a cybercriminal could buy a custom loader and access to the CNC panel from a single IP address, with a $25 charge to change that address. BUER'S developers limit users to 2 addresses per account. In September of 2020, the BUER loader was found to be at the root of a Ryuk ransomware attack when the malware was delivered via Google Docs and required the victim to enable scripted content to work. In this way, BUER mimics Emotet and other loader malware types. BUER employs a stolen certificate issued by a Polish software designer to evade detection and scans for the presence of any debuggers to ensure forensic analysis can be prevented. Although these attacks are increasing in frequency, there are always ways for individuals and businesses to protect themselves, including remaining vigilant against phishing attacks and ensuring that the latest anti-malware software is installed. The MaaS hacking gang that began operating in May of 2019 is thought to be shutting down its operations. The media-savvy operation revolutionized ransomware attacks with their invention of a double extortion tactic. Initially, they steal your files, then later encrypt them. In addition, MaaS publicly displays the files of victims that fail to pay ransoms on a public leak site. Double extortion was eventually adopted by other large ransomware operations including Revil, Clop, and Doppelpaymer, who also created their own data leak sites. Double extortion has now become a standard tactic used by almost all ransomware hacking groups. MaaS also formed a ransomware cartel with RagnarLocker and Lockbit to share information and techniques. During their 1.5-year-long terror spree, MaaS was responsible for attacks on victims including Southwire, the City of Pensacola, Canon, LG Electronics, Xerox, and many more. MaaS started to shut down in fall of 2020. According to reports, MaaS was set to shut down operations in a similar manner as GanCrab did in 2019. Although some news sites attempted to confirm if they were in fact shutting down, the gang replied to these outlets, quote, "You should wait for the press release." In late 2020, MaaS started to remove information from the victims listed on their data leak site. The cleaning up of the data leak site may indicate that the hacking operations shutdown is imminent. Affiliates move to EGREGOR ransomware. According to reports, many of MaaS affiliates have switched over to a new ransomware operation called EGREGOR. EGREGOR began operation in mid-September of 2020, just as the MaaS gang started shutting down their encryption operation. It has quickly become very active and is believed to be the same underlying software as both MaaS and SecMet because they use the same ransom note, similar payment site naming, and share much of the same code. One hacker even went as far as to confirm that MaaS, SecMet, and EGREGOR were the same software. Unfortunately for potential victims, this proves that even when a ransomware operation shuts down, it does not mean that the hackers ride off into the sunset and retire. They just move to the next ransomware operation. You know, as I think about the dangers that exist online, not unlike the subjects we learned about in this video, I know I feel a lot better having an anti-malware program like SpyHunter installed in my PC, providing me the protection I need against malware, and I think you should too. SpyHunter 5's strongest features are found in its malware repair capabilities, SpyHunter 5's remediation algorithms dive deep into your system to remove and address complex malware issues affecting PCs today. While many anti-malware products only flag and quarantine malware and ultimately fail to fully remediate the root problem, the SpyHunter 5 remediation algorithm detects, quarantines, and programmatically repairs malware problems on your PC. SpyHunter 5 is a powerful PC utility that repairs malware threats in many cases where other competing anti-malware and antivirus programs may fail. To detect and remove malware for free, go to enigmasoftware.com and download SpyHunter today. Thanks for watching.